Well, welcome to WFMCJams.com. I am Mark, the DJ Doctor. I want to put a big thanks to Brian, man. We got the intro tonight. No cold start. Sounds good. Thank you, Brian. That, of course, is Brian, our IT guru. How you doing, Brian? He's running around.
I'm all right.
Oh, there you go. So I was going to say, I got him away from the microphone. Well, good. Well, as usual, our cast of characters sitting here at the table with me. We got James, the Lyric Man. How you doing, James?
I'm pretty good. I apologize. I don't have my corny joke tonight, but
No corny joke right off the bat.
Well, I'm just in awe that Brian was able to get us started off the right way.
Got the music going.
It kind of shocked me to death.
It kind of went smooth at the beginning.
Usually he's just like, you guys have been on for like 5 minutes. I forgot to tell you.
Last week it was like 30 seconds we were on. We're like, okay, we're on. So who knows what went over the air. It kind of scared us a little bit. Well, you think of a good joke and we'll get back to you in a little while.
Thank you.
All right, and of course to the next left of the Lyric Man, we have Jason, who I think you're currently, aren't you the current internet MMA artist champion? Is that what it is?
What?
Okay. I just thought I heard a rumor today. How you doing, Jason? The hillbilly heartthrob.
I thought of a joke, actually, this week.
Oh, we don't have time for your life story right now.
Well, that
Jason.
brings us back to our guest tonight. No, go ahead. Go ahead, Jason. Here's your 2 minutes of fame.
He's sitting right next to me.
Oh, man. And I don't know if we got that on video. That was kind of corny, but make sure if you're
I'll do the jokes here.
you're out and listening. Don't forget to go into our Facebook, WFMC Jams. There will be a link. I believe my lovely wife Cynthia has posted the link, so we can go on to video tonight. We are down to 2 cameras tonight. One is shining on Jason's lovely cowboy hat. And the other one is on Mr. Anthony George himself. So we'll try to keep the camera more on Anthony than on Jason. That's the way it should go.
Please.
But tune into our Facebook page. There'll be a blue link right there that'll tell you how to get over to us. Cynthia will, throughout the night, will post pictures. Make sure you respond to that. Give us some feedback of how things are going. We always like to hear. And, let Anthony know who's out there listening, who's watching, and make some comments. And we'll play that over the air and tell Anthony who's listening so he can shout out and say hey. But tonight our special musical guest is none other than Mr. Anthony George himself. How you doing, Anthony?
Doing good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we're glad to have you here. So we are going to get Anthony up and running with a quick song first, and then we're going to get to know Anthony a little bit better. So, Anthony, if you got a song you'd like to jump on, tell us a little bit about it and jump into it.
All right, yeah, this one's called Bad Case of Country. And good old song I wrote with Mr. Hawkshaw Hawkins, I don't know, it's probably 8 or 9 years ago. Goes like this. Misery came around about 18 when I got my first case of Jones. They had to stop loving her, chilled me to the bone. That's when I made this honky-tonk my home. I guess Lefty was right when he sang a song. That's the way love goes. The way that man hurt inside, Lord, I know he knows. Love can take your very soul. I got a bad case of country running through my veins. I'm gonna need a shot of Haggard and a double dose of Hain. I need a honky-tonk and a jukebox to help me ease the pain. I got a bad case of country running through my veins. Now Dr. Bartender knows the cure for what's ailing me. I'm never happy till I'm sad, and that's the way I'll always be. He said misery loves company. The day Mr. Whitley closed his eyes took a toll on me. Now he was no stranger to the rain, still he caught the honky-tonk disease, and that's part of what's killing me. I got a bad case of country running through my veins. I'm gonna need a shot of Haggard and a double dose of Hain. jukebox to help me ease the pain. I got a bad case of country running through my veins. No, yeah. Ooh. Now if you feel like I do, listen, helps one song away. Don't jump the gun like old Bubba did. Let that jukebox play. If you got a bad case of country running through your vein, you're gonna need a shot of Haggard and a double dose of Hank. You'll need a honky-tonk and a jukebox to help you ease the pain. If you got a bad case of country running through your vein, Lord, it's running through my vein. Said misery came around about 18 when I got my first case of Jones.
Let's take a vote. I think it sounds better with a guitar.
Actually, what it came down to is the audience just wanted to see my butt.
Yeah, but
You notice Brian went and had to adjust the camera.
on second thought, leave your hat on.
That's why the camera went out.
I'm going to give it to you. You clicked right on that chord. You perfect timing.
Well, good job. That was a great song.
Thank you.
So let's start at the very beginning. You're from Birmingham, Alabama, is that correct?
That's correct.
Not England, though.
No,
I'm
not
Not
from
England. We'll talk about the
But
Sir
your
in a
name,
while.
your name is Sir Anthony George.
Yes, I've recently been dubbed that, but I got that. I work with a lot of little artists around town, and I don't mean little, but
Like
young
midgets?
guys, and help do coaching, vocals, and in the studio and stuff. And one guy, he said, man, he said, I'm going to call you Sir Anthony. And I said, well, that's cool. And I'm like, well, I really don't deserve it, but I liked it. So I was just getting my production company coming up, so it was like, well, I don't want her, to use something different. That would be perfect. So, and it kind of stuck, and so that's what it is.
It works.
That works.
That song you just played, you said you wrote with Hawkshaw.
Yeah.
How did you wind up writing with Hawkshaw? Of all people.
When I first came to town, I guess in 93, it was not 93, I guess, but 94, 95, I met Hawkshaw.
Great.
And this is his son now, the Hawkshaw Jr.
Yeah.
Of course, his daddy was very famous, but we wrote Tony Stampton. I know y'all know Tony and them.
Oh, yeah.
And they were all in their little clique and good people, and met him, and me and Hawk wrote that. And Hawk is he's definitely a good old country singer, country roots oriented, and so he had a lot of good deep country stuff, and I had that rock kind of style, so we kind of combined the two and came up with that song. So it was very rocking.
There you go.
I could see somebody like Hank Jr. or something recording
Yeah.
that, really.
Yeah, it'd be good with some blazing guitars in there.
Yeah.
So
Outlaw country.
yeah, outlaw country. There you go.
Kind of like you with the black hat, outlaw.
That's right.
So, a little bit about yourself. You come from a background, musical family, mom, dad, brother, sister.
My dad played guitar for years in bands, and he taught me, my first chords. And from then on, once I got my guitar in my hand, and this was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But when I started learning, some of the 80s rock and roll and stuff like that, I guess and I just loved it. And then I didn't really go to country. When we were younger, I think we'd gravitate towards the rock and roll. But
Yep.
I was playing in different bands. But then I started playing in a band, a country band, had a great country singer. And, Alabama was like brought me to country music, if I was to say that. And Earl Thomas Conley, that was what really got me. And I had a chance to meet Randy Owens, I guess it was about 2 years ago.
Cool.
And it was one of the BMI parties. And he was like, and I'm like we all do. I used to listen to that speakers and headphones in my head, and I'd hear his voice on them songs. And, I'd listen to it over and over, and just, how could you sing that great and just make you feel it, But when I met him at BMI, I went up to him, and I shook his hand, and a tear just started coming out of my eye. I know it sounds crazy, but, that's like your hero. And then I got to talk to Earl Thomas Conley, a good friend of mine, Billy Myers, owned the Comanche Studios down in Nashville. and he's just crazy old card. And he said, I told him the same story. He said, well, let me call Earl Thomas. I was okay, do it, you know. That's how he is. And he put him on the phone. So I was like, oh, that's Earl Thomas calling.
Wow.
So, you know, but then after that, I was hooked once I got into that. Now, we always, in the cover bands, we played country music, but we also threw in ZZ Top. You know,
Right.
you get away with that in the club. So
what's your first band name that you can remember?
Southern Happening.
Really?
Well, that was the country band. The first band was probably Pure Lust or something like that.
Yeah. I always
You know, we
loved,
were young.
I love doing that, going back. What was your first band name? And you hear some of the most crazy stuff.
Yeah.
What was the one? The Velvet something, Sugar something Rush. Remember Andy Brown?
Yes. What was that?
Oh, Andy, if you're listening,
Sugar Rush.
text us or email us. But your band was, I think, right now the king of first band names. That was pretty cool. My first band was August Heat.
I like that.
August Heat, and I was like, I think in the 8th grade or 9th grade. So, so it was crazy, but well, great.
Let me ask you this: when you came to Nashville, did you come to be? Were you trying to be an artist, like you record an album, or were you wanting to be a songwriter?
I kind of came as a songwriter and wouldn't mind fitting in with some guys that wanted to do the artist project. I've always loved that side of it, the entertainment and the pictures and the stage and that, but I really came as a songwriter. I went on the road with the band for about a year, and we did like the Southeast Circuit and had a bus and everything, the Head and South Band, and enjoyed that. But it's just, you know, I mean, you can ride them roads out there, and I really didn't think I was getting to where I really wanted to be, so I pulled off the road, and I'm from Birmingham, so I moved to Nashville, and I said, well, I can come up here and start working, you know, and take my time, but at least I'm here in the town. And that was a huge step. And, you know,
What kind of jobs did you do when you first came to Nashville?
I managed restaurants. I've been doing that for years. So, I mean, that was the easy.
Hey, there's hope for me then.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You're gonna step
They
up,
paid
James.
the bills. But, you know, it's like when I first made the move, you got to be present to win. And that's cliche, but you got to be here.
Right.
You know, now I know people do have success in different stuff, but if you're going to be a country singer or writer, you got to be here in Nashville, you know. I mean, that's.
Now, when you end up having a song by Brooks and Dunn, now I got a few questions about it. How'd you get it? Tell me the story about writing the song, and then I want to know where you were at the first time you heard it on the radio.
Okay. Well, Marty Brown, y'all might know him, that crazy cat. He wrote, I'm from the country and I like it that way, and he's had several big cuts. Well, anyway, met him, of course. My biggest thing when I came to town, first of all, was, of course, to, you know, make a living. And then second of all, what I moved here for was the writing. So, you know, we'd go hang out back then it was the Longhorn Steakhouse. A lot of big people going there, you know. We knew them all before there was anybody, or you'd meet people. And so that's where you would, as a songwriter, you would gravitate, because you'd meet the people that were writing the cuts and getting the cuts and heard. So I was hanging out, and funny story with that one, of course, Marty done had some success, and my Colin Rave came out before the Brooks and Dunn one, so I had a little bit, you know, nothing like with Marty. Marty had the big one. But I was coming down through, I had a black Corvette back then. I like cars, so. Anyway, and I was cruising, I had my top down. And Marty, he's the character anyway, so. And he had this black cowboy hat on, you know, and he's walking down the street. And I said, what you doing? And he looked he had his head just hanging down. I mean, he looked like he just lost his best friend. He might have. Yeah, you don't ask sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
I said, what you doing? He said, nothing. He said, what you doing? I said, well, I think I'll go to the Bluebird. And I don't go there a lot, but, you know, it's, of course, a great writing function and everything. So I said, if you want to go, jump in, you know. So, and this was one of them days where I didn't even want to go downtown. Sometimes, you know, you think it's all fun and games, but it's hard work too. You got to go down there and hang out, and you might nothing happen. Anyway, long story short, he jumped in the car, and we went to the Bluebird, and we stayed there for a little second. It wasn't too long. You got to be real quiet in the Bluebird, you know, and I got a big mouth, so I couldn't stay too long. I had to get out of there. No. So anyway, so we went to one of the clubs around through there, like the Longhorn or something. But we were in the car, and we just, you know, it's what you do. You get an idea and you start writing. And we wrote that song without a guitar. I'd say tops 15 minutes, you know, and then we didn't think nothing else about it. So we went out, and then that night we came in, and Marty crashed at my place that night. And, of course, I had a little studio, and I just turned the mic on and to lay down the track, you know. And he laid down what we had. And then, like, within 2 months, it was on hold. And that's, you know, you couldn't paint that picture ever again, trust me. But that's kind of how it happens, you know. And so it was a unique situation because all these other songs you write, and we didn't even have a guitar. Just the words and the melody, just there it is.
So Brooks and Dunn recorded it,
Yep.
and then where were you at the first time you heard it on the radio?
I got a call. I didn't even know actually that they had. We knew they were cutting it. Of course, you hear that all the time. You know, you got to hold. Okay, well, hold's good, but if you don't with the hold, they just hold it, right? So, but somebody called me. They said, "Man," they said, "you need to go in Best Buys." I said, "What are you talking about?" They said, "You need to go." They said, "Your song's on the Hillbilly Deluxe." I said, "No, you're lying," you know. And it was that kind of surreal moment. And then I went over there, and that's when I first really realized it. And then I was like, "Yay!" You know. I mean, it was very exciting.
Did you go off shouting in Best Buy and everybody come buy
yeah,
this CD?
I bought 2 of them.
That's right. There you go.
But it was exciting. It was, you know, I still want a #1 song. I haven't had the big money maker that's going to make me 10 years worth. That's, you know, what we all strive for. But I can imagine that to be a very happening time.
I've always thought if I were to get to where I have a song on a CD or something, I hope I go by the. I mean, on a good CD. I hope I. Sorry. I hope I go buy the CD like during the daytime because I know if it's late at night, I'm gonna make a lot of people mad because I'll probably start in these neighborhoods over here and just knock on the door. Excuse me, I'm not Jehovah's Witnesses, but I would like for you to listen to this CD. I wrote this song number 6 on there.
There you go.
Number 6.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Well,
funny.
let's hear it. Can you play the?
Yeah. I need to turn my guitar on first.
Let's make sure that's on. And this is called "If It Ain't You, It's Me."
Yeah, well, something like "It ain't me, it ain't you."
So one of those
He has
ways,
to
right?
select-
He told me he was going to throw me a curveball. He just threw it.
Did
Didn't
I
he?
write it down wrong? You even corrected me when I was asking you, and I wrote it down wrong again.
Yeah, you wrong it down right.
I wrote it with my left hand. That's why.
All right, here we go. Said, baby, since you left, I haven't been myself. No, it's just not the same. And all this running around all over town, Lord, it's a dead-end game. Now, I won't lie, baby, I've tried at least a love or two, but I can't feel this hole in my heart no matter what I do. It ain't me, if it ain't you, if it's not us, then baby, it ain't cool. Said I can't stand myself with somebody new. No, it ain't me, if it ain't you. Now I know it's late, but tell me it's fate that led me to your door. Say you're alone, I'd give all I own to have you back once more. I made mistakes, but sometimes that's what it takes to make a love strong. Said life without you ain't worth going through. I've known it all along. It ain't me, it ain't you, if it's not us, baby, it ain't cool. Said I can't stand myself with somebody new. No, it ain't me, if it ain't you.
Very nice.
I
Well,
almost tried to be Kicks for a little bit, do some.
Kicks.
Dancing around.
I just think you're done. That's all I know. So, sorry about that. And those Brooks and Dunn don't hate me. I'm just making fun of Jason. So, we got quite a few listeners checking in. Let's go ahead and throw some names out. If you want to say hey to them, you got Dixon Lindsay from looks like Auburn, Alabama. Says go Sir George.
What's up, Dick?
There you go.
Thanks for tuning in.
Jason's sister, Dawn. She's sharing photos left and right. Thank you, Dawn, for all your help. You have Lisa Alexander Davis. And Lisa, and I'm going to probably mispronounce your last name. I'm sorry, Feiselman? Yep.
Yeah, Lisa. How you doing, both Lisa?
Yeah, you got two Lisas, and then you got Sherry Nix and Brian Wayne Perry.
Hey, what's up, Brian Wayne?
Vaughn McDonald McAnally.
Vaughn, yes.
And this one's a big name. It looks like it's probably a combination. Lexi and Brenton's.
Yes, my stepsister.
Your stepsister.
How you
All right. Nana Jill. And you got
Yeah,
more coming. So,
Well, good.
you know, we want to thank you
Thanks
all.
all of y'all.
Yeah, listening in. So,
My wife Trisha's listening to it, and she needs to get the dog out of my chair.
get the dog out of the chair.
Just
We
thought
wanna-
we'd add that real quick.
we want to thank Tricia for liking FMC Jam's photo from last week. She's right on top of it. Thank you, Trish. Bless her heart.
She's been spending all her time in the kitchen.
She liked Hank Sasaki's photo from last week, and we want to thank Hank again. And again, we want to thank Hank Sasaki for being here last week. He done a great job, and he's just been a wonderful cat. He's called us several times and thanked us, and we really had a good time with Hank. So thank you, Hank, for all you done last week. So now let's get back to our portion of the show here.
Can I say one thing, too? I want to give a shout-out to first of all, thank y'all for letting me do this.
Oh, we thank you.
And I really appreciate that. And all my Facebook friends and all my friends for listening in. And also my two little kids are here tonight.
I was gonna
My
say you
son,
got special
TJ
guests.
George,
Okay.
and my beautiful daughter, Angelina Maria. And it's her birthday tomorrow.
Well, happy
She'll be
birthday.
11 years old.
Birthday.
Happy birthday, baby. I love you.
Now, are they?
We love you too.
Are they gonna sing?
Yeah, they're going to do break dancing in a minute.
Oh
There you
yeah,
go.
okay.
So, what are their hobbies? Are they into music? Are they into sports? Are they into
They're into computer games.
electronics? Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
So they're normal.
So,
Yeah.
Dad, you better get a big hit soon.
I know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know. I can't afford them.
That stuff, yeah, that stuff ain't cheap. So, well, good. All right. Well, I just got a instant message. This is very important. Instant message from Trish. Lots of laugh. I'm busy, and the dog is not in James' chair.
I'm glad.
So he says he's glad. So, all right, James, what else you got over there?
Well, Jason's got the list for all our shows. If we want to announce that real
Yeah,
quick.
Jason, if you got that handy, let's go ahead and
Yeah,
tell
let's-
future Midnight Madness shows.
Next week, February 19th, we have Bob DeYoung and Amy Brown. February 26th, we have Glenn Douglas Tubb. Actually, Glenn Tubb just did the Midnight Jamboree Saturday night.
What time was that?
It was at midnight, believe it or not.
Unlike this show, Midnight Madness at
Yes.
7.
It was
Theirs makes sense.
It would have been Ernest Tubbs' 99th birthday.
That's incredible.
March 5th, we have Russ Roberts. March 12th is Johnny Moore, and I just spent the day with Johnny today at the Shotgun Red Show. Following him is the 19th of March, and that's myself, the talent portion of our group.
We'll just be checking the speakers, making sure the microphones do shut off and things like that.
Yeah.
March
so-
26th comes Ronnie Stoneman from Hee Haw. And I have to do this quick shout out. Sunday at the Grammys, Pop Stoneman walked away with a Grammy, even though he's long been gone. But this another shout out for the Stoneman family. They walked away
Yeah,
with a
that's,
Grammy.
that's great. That's great.
Eat your heart out, Blake Shelton.
Classic bluegrass. I like that.
Hold on, real quick. What was the deal with Blake? Did I miss something here? Because what did he
Ooh, you're gonna
say
open
or
up a
do?
big can of worms, fellas.
I have to open a can of worms. That's what we're all about.
It's yeah.
What? How do you feel about Blake Shelton?
I like him. I like
I do
his
too.
style. I love his voice.
Did he say something wrong? Because
Yes,
I
he said
relate a
something
lot.
very wrong.
What did he say then?
Yeah, what'd he say?
He made a comment in regards to he won Entertainer of the Year. Is that what it was? Male Vocalist of the Year,
Uh-huh.
and made a comment that now he has pull over how music is done in Nashville, and people are dogging him that your music is not traditional country music. It's not real country. Yeah, it's more pop. And I'm summarizing
that
this
all
off
he
of what I've
said?
seen. And he said, and I'm going to be careful here because we are the Family Music Center. He didn't
Earmuffs
swear,
kids.
but it just, we do have kids here. He did say, well, people no longer listen to traditional country music. The people that do are just old farts and blankety blanks. The people that are buying country music today are young kids that listen to my music. And that's what set everybody off, because people are like Hank and Senior and Junior and Waylon and Willie and all them guys paved the way for the Garth Brooks,
Sure.
the Toby Keiths, and the Blake Sheltons. You know, you wouldn't be where you're at today without those guys. We wouldn't be, the rock and rollers of the world won't be here because without the Carl Perkins and the Elvis Presleys and the Beatles, you know. So you might not like the Beatles, you might not, and if you don't, I got an 800 number you need to call so I can
The
slap
Beatles,
you.
when they were a famous band, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that the
don't-
one that
don't-
Ringo was a star in?
Yes, he was definitely the star in that band. I love Ringo. But, you know, you might not like those particular artists, but they have paved the way for bands today. And that's when kids tell me, and I get this argument all the time with young kids, Metallica, greatest band in the world. Avenged Sevenfold, greatest band in the world. I went, in your era, in your generation. But you got to remember, these guys loved Elvis Presley. They loved the Beatles. They loved, believe it or not, the Monkees. And that got them inspired to play music today.
Right.
Do they sound like the Beatles? Or no. They sound like them, and that's what they should sound like you. Don't forget the past. That's all I ask.
I have a quick story about that. One year I had to work and didn't get to go to Bonnaroo. I wanted to see John Fogerty. Okay, and I ended up, you can go home and you can watch it live on YouTube. And I had to log in so that I could talk, because these people watching John Fogerty live on YouTube, they're sitting there, who is this old guy up there? I'm like, this is Mr. Rock and Roll. This is John Fogerty. And
Yeah.
like, well, all I know is he just run a good Creedence song. I'm like, he wrote the song. He is Creedence. And they're like, well, I couldn't understand a word he was saying. You couldn't understand a word he was saying when he played at the original Woodstock. That's his style. And they're like, well, I just want to get to Dave Matthews. There would be no Dave Matthews to get to if it wasn't for John Fogerty.
That's right.
I love that.
Well, you know, that is crazy.
Each
Well-
genre, I believe, has got to have. You may
Genre?
not like the artist, but they still deserve your respect.
Sure.
Well, I still like Blake. I think he was probably drunk when he said that.
Again, that's
Well, my comments
Not
on
all
that
expressions
is
are
he's probably,
WFMC.
since he's on The Voice, you know, he's
He's
in
gotta
that
do-
pop
yeah.
world a little bit. He's
Yeah.
on that side of the fence. However, I disagree with what he said.
I don't like what he said either, but I don't hate him or
No,
nothing. for it.
I like his music, though.
April 2nd comes Danielle Anderson. April 9th, we have the Midday Farm Report. April 16th comes Daryl Dasher. April 23rd is Destin Bennett. April 30th is Randy Fincham. May 7th is Vanessa Hill.
See how fast he's going through these now, because he don't want us to get off on another sermon. Mark.
quick. Yeah.
May 14th, Trapper Haskins. May 21st is Heather Stevenson. And May 28th is nobody important, Phil Holland.
This is Jason speed reading.
Phil, we can't wait to have you on. No matter what Jason says.
Yeah, I love you, Phil. June 4th is Mr. Lee Greenwood Gibson.
Oh, and we've got a surprise for Lee Gibson himself. I can't wait.
And also on the 11th of June, we have no show because of our Fam Jam Out Back, our week-long concert that we're looking forward to.
Our pre-Bonnaroo concert.
I can't wait.
The following week will be the 18th of June. It's Mr. Robert Cox, another Stoneman. He is Ronnie Stoneman's son.
That'd be great. In regards to the Fam Jam, just to let you know, we are booking bands for that as we speak. So if you're an artist or a band that wants to get involved in playing a show out back, give us a call. Again, it's a local Nashville, not Nashville, but Manchester number, 931-954-0727. You can find out how to get part of the show. It's free to the public. It's 7 days, 45 bands, 70-plus artists will be there. It's something that we do. It's our fourth annual Fam Jam. And this year, some of the bands that have already confirmed and already are booked, and time-wise, we got Tawny River will be there, Sugarline Blue, we got Travis Boland, Randy Fincham, Gerald Smith. So
Georgia Quacker.
the Georgia Quacker, yeah. So we're getting quite the group. The Anderson Brown Band, the Hard Times Band will be there. We want to thank.
I hear we have James Bell, too.
Yes.
We have all the Red
And
Clay
it's free
production
to get
people.
into my show. Right?
Yeah, it's free to get into your show. Yes, but So make sure you look us up. We'll be posting that here in the next couple of days, actually, on all of our websites and Facebooks, and we'll give you announcements on that. But check out the Fam Jam information on rwfmcjams.com. Other than that, let's get back to some good music. James, is there anything else you want to add?
So this next song,
I guess he knew.
by Colin Ray, was this your first cut?
Yeah.
It was?
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, and I forgot to say hi to my beautiful daughter in Boca Raton, Brittany Danielle. So I just thought about that. Hello, baby.
Oh, there you go.
My Colin Ray song. I wrote this with Carrie Lynn Cleaver, a female writer in town, and kind of just a beautiful song. I mean, we were kind of writing it as a duet kind of thing, which was just a beautiful song. And Stan Cornelius, he produced like Alan Jackson and some other big stars. He's passed now, but I had met him through some of my friends in Nashville, and it was weird on that one too. You know, when I'm downtown, you kind of learn. You bring your tapes with you, or your CDs, or whatever. So when you're downtown, you ain't making wrong moves. You're trying to be very productive when you're down there, because you know you might run into that person on the corner. So I always have a pocket full of CDs or something, whether they want them or not. And I had gotten that to Stan before, maybe 2 or 3 years earlier, and he just didn't cut it. Nobody cut it. It wasn't even from Colin Ray. And I had went over there just one. I hadn't seen Stan, and it was at least 2 or 3 years. And I remember where he was at, and I knocked on his door, and I said, "Stan, what you doing?" He said, "Man," he said, "I haven't seen you in a long time." I said, "I know, you know, because I try not to bug people, but you kind of got to bug people, and if you want to get heard and seen." And he said, "I'm producing Colin Ray," and he said, "We're over at, I think it was County Q." And he said, "You still got that song Falling in Love Again?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I've got a copy of it." And he said, "Man," he said, "I've been looking for it." He said, "Can you give me that CD? And I need the lyric sheet." And he said, "Be at the studio like, I don't know, 2 hours." I know that sounds crazy, but it was crazy to me too. I said, "Sure." So I was a member of NSAI. I like NSAI. So I went over there. That was like my little office on the road, because they got computers and, you know, printer papers. I printed it off and ran it over there, and sure enough, he was in there, and he cut that song. And it was kind of, I mean, really, it was so surreal too, because I didn't even, Stan hadn't seen him in 3 or 4 years, but he remembered that song. And that's kind of how Stan was. He loved songs, and he had a good memory.
That's a good deal.
So, but anyway, I'll play it for you. It's something like this.
You want to hit your pedal real quick?
Boy, I know I'm not a pedal man, I guess.
He needs a roadie.
There you go. Here I am, falling for you once again. This broken heart that's been torn apart may never mend. And look at you, shining like a distant star. I once was afraid, I turned away, now here we are. We're falling in love again. Now I know it was meant to be. Two lovers who walked away, whose hearts were too blind to see that love is the answer. If we just believe, no mountain too high, together we'll climb. Only you and me, we're falling in love again. This night is ours, and oh, how I waited so long to feel your touch. I've missed you so much, I know I was wrong. But no, not you. I too have made mistakes. So just hold me tight. We'll do what's right. We'll do whatever it takes. We're falling in love again. Now I know it was meant to be. Two lovers who walked away, whose hearts were too blind to see that love is the answer. If we just believe, no mountain too high, together we'll climb. Only you and me, we're falling in love again. We're falling in love again.
It's a good song.
I love that song. It's a pretty song.
Very pretty.
Thank you.
Now, how old were you when you first started writing?
I wrote my first song in high school, so I guess 15. And it was called Fairy Tales and Movie Shows Ain't What Love's About.
I like
And you
that.
know, yeah, I know. When you think, I guess everybody remembers your first song, but I've always remembered that. So that was it.
I have written one song in my entire life. That's why I beat stuff with sticks. I'm a drummer because
Okay.
a man's got to know his limitations.
That's right.
In writing songs. That's why you do what you do, and I admire you guys for the talent.
What's the name of your one song?
It was called "Baby, It's You."
I like it.
And that was about where it ended. It shouldn't have gone any farther than that. So, well, good. If you don't mind, let's talk about Three Deep a little bit. What's that about? Who's involved in that?
Okay. Three Deep, actually, me and my partner from Birmingham, David Black, we was on the Can You Duet show the first season, and we went by George Black, and we've been trying for a long time. You know how this town is, so. And so we did that, and we did okay on there. I think we stayed like 12 weeks, and then we got booted to the curb. And I'll tell you a good story on that one. They wanted us to do Love Hurts, you know, Nazareth, which loved the song, but
Right.
we learned we probably did the wrong thing, because on them shows, they want you to do what they want you to do. They don't want you to do what you don't, but we didn't. We were stubborn, and we had to be, you know, we're going to do this. We sit in the hotel room because you've only got, like, you know, to go in there and then do your song.
Right.
And so we went with it, and we did the Keith Urban song. And anyway, long story short, that passed by, and we've got a unique sound to begin with. But this past year, we decided to add a third member. And Matt Newton is the new third member. And it really opened up the harmonies. It opened up the, I mean, I do a lot of singing. I do a lot of vocalizing harmonies, but the two cats that I've got are true singers. I mean, they can, you know, wail. And both of them equally can wail. And it's a very unique sound when you put all three together.
Right.
And of course, I produced that, and my thinking was going in, and I ain't trying to be cheesy, but I do like some of the pop stuff, like Boys to Men and Backstreet Boys. You know, you got to say you heard it.
Oh, you just made my daughter happy. She just became a fan.
Well, you know, but the thing is they kind of do it uniquely to where they swap the lead vocals out, and sometimes you don't know who's singing what.
Right.
And so I said, well, you know what? If I got two horses that can sing that good and great, so that's what I did. I kind of interlaid everything, and I love what we're doing. We are not signed, so we are looking for management and yada, yada, yada. But I love where we're at with it, and we're enjoying it, and we're just trying to pitch his first year, so that's what we're doing.
Well, we got the song "Nobody" on our radio station that we play quite often.
Thank you.
Beautiful
Thank you.
song, great song. Now, did you write that yourself, or?
No, and this is me being the producer. My mind thinks crazy.
Uh-huh.
But that is a R&B song.
Mm-hmm.
Keith Sweat. It was a #1 song for
wow.
him back in '91, maybe. And when I'm at home, I'll Google anything from Jack Green to, I don't know, to to George Jones to Keith Sweat to I love Luther Vandross. So and I came across that song, and of course, you know, to me, a song is the star. The words is the star. I can produce it. I don't care if you want it rock and roll. I can give it to you rock and roll. But the words has got to be there, right?
Right.
And that song's just awesome, you know. And we kind of laid it down in a more of a Rascal Flatts kind of style. If I was to say that was our style, that's kind of what we do. And very pleased at how it came out.
I really enjoyed it. When I got that, I said, that's a nice song.
Thank you.
Well done. But, yeah, I was unaware that was done back in 91. That's great.
Yeah, Google it and check it out. Keith does a great job with it. And actually, he had, I want to say the name right, but Athena Cage, he had a lady sing it with him. And it was kind of a, to where but, you know, she kind of answered him and stuff. It was good, though. Really
great.
So.
Well, I know you just said that you listened to, like, Boyz II Men and all that stuff. That's what I loved, Boyz II Men. When I started thinking I had the ability to write songs, that's what I wanted to write. Was I loved the harmonies and all that stuff, but everything I wrote came out with a twang, and that's when I decided if I'm going to do this, I got to start listening to what I'm going to do. So that's when I started listening to George, and that's when I really got into country music, was about the songs. So I started listening to all these songs, and half my favorite songs never made it to the radio because I buy the album and I'll pick out these songs that are just killer songs. And now,
well, you know, I'm trying to think of the song. John Michael Montgomery did it, and it crossed over, and another pop group did it.
I swear.
So to me,
no, I don't, but I know all the words.
To me, I don't try to write for the radio, and I know that sounds cliche, but I just like to write a good song as far as in my head. And if it fits the format, it fits. If it don't, I don't care. I mean,
that's my thing. When I sit down to write,
but you do have to have your. You kind of, you just don't want to write not to get it cut.
Right.
So
but
you
know. You go when you sit down to write, ought to be just to write a good song, not to write. I'm gonna write a smash, or I'm gonna write this. I want to write a good song. That's it.
Right, and you know.
Because who would have said "Achy Break Your Heart" would have been a smash hit? You know, when they wrote that, he wasn't thinking this is a smash right here.
Well, even if you're channeling Boyz II Men and you love that style and you got this groove going, when they go in there and cut it and put a steel guitar on it,
right,
it's gonna change that whole song. But the words ain't.
Right.
So you know, shoot,
Well,
go ahead.
I thought you had something there.
No.
Oh, you're just shuffling papers?
I'm shuffling papers.
He's looking important.
Did you have any questions? Right now, it's your chance to talk.
Or forever.
This is your one chance.
One chance. I get one chance tonight. This is it.
This is it.
We're cutting the microphone off after this.
Get your hand on the buzzer. Let's go. Jason, anything you'd like to?
As a producer, tell us about your production company. What services do your company do? And
good question. I'm proud of you.
I thought of it off the top of my head.
I do a lot of different things. Of course, we have a full production company. Say you want to come down and we'll put you on the songs or the songs you've written. I'll go in and cut you a full CD, 10 songs. You want to do an EP? I'll go in and whatever our budget is or what we're going to work with, I'll get you the best of the best, and you'll come out smoking. I mean, I've got some artists that I've worked with and great tracks, great songs. And like I said, in my heart, it's about the song. I mean, if I'm going to produce you, I mean, I definitely want some weight in there on what we're going to put behind you. Or if it's your songs, and that's great too, but it is about the songs, and when you're in that studio getting them vocals, it's about the feeling. It ain't about just get back here and sing that song, man. If I said I want to love you, I want to hear the loves pop out at me and say I want to love you,
Right.
So I mean that's kind of where my passion is when it comes to producing. I also do the home stuff. I got a little home studio, which we all do, but I can do vocal, acoustics, and I like to work with young guys that are trying to do what we're trying to do, and get him in there and put them vocals together, and then once he hears, and he's probably already doing great, but once he hears it with a different approach and different ear and laid in the pocket, man, I mean, to me that's exciting.
Oh yeah.
Right.
'Cause it is a difference.
Right.
The first time you ever pitched a song, what was that feeling like? I mean,
well, just like you reading the books. I mean, they don't want to listen to you.
Yeah, that's what I learned. I ran into. You go talk to them. I've got some songs I'd like to pitch. Well, we only deal with staff writers. Well, how do you get to be a staff writer? Well, you got to be, have a cut first. And I'm like, well, how do I get a cut if you guys only deal with staff writers? And they're like, I don't know, but good luck. And shut the door. I'm like,
well,
okay.
when I first came to town, my mother, Hey Bonnie Blue, She came up here with me, and she was married at the time, and I mean, you're excited, and you got your songs, and I mean, you came here for a reason, right? So, and you've got this chest poked out, and you just go knock on doors, and as crazy as it sounds, as I've been here longer, I don't knock on them as probably I should. But you know what? Don't let nobody stop you from knocking on the door. And if they say no, who cares? And get down there and play them a song. And I remember because I was happy somebody let me in the door.
I'm getting used to getting slammed in my face.
Well, do it.
That's normally from us.
I remember he sat me down and he put that cassette. And he probably knew I probably wasn't worth the crap anyway. Excuse my language, but he listened to it. And he said that's good. He said, but he said I know I can tell you're new in Nashville and you just need to listen to more of what they're doing here. And he said when you get here, you're gonna realize there's a lot of Nashville writing is a little different, and which it is. You write and then you get around the greats and the guys are getting cuts, and then it's like, wow, man, you learn again.
Right.
But you can't be scared to do that. I mean, and even now, I mean, I've given songs to Tim McGraw. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but right out of my pocket. The best person that can promote a song is you. Yeah. You wrote it. You're more convicted about the guy than the guy that's going to make the money off it because that's your baby.
Yep. I gave Tim McGraw 10 songs one time on a CD.
And now he's just convicted.
Well, he didn't cut my news.
I'm sure they wound up in that little circular bin when I walked out the door, but that's beside the point.
Well, Tim, he's a class act, but it's like I said, you gotta, and my biggest thing is when I am downtown, I do keep them CDs because you never know who you're gonna run into.
Right. I was talking to the lead singer of BR549 one time, and he said, it was getting ridiculous as the fact of they hardly go anywhere and people are passing them CDs. He said what turned him off is when the drummer was in the bathroom and had him slid under the stalls too.
Well,
I tell you what, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to lay this out.
It was you.
No, it wasn't me. I threw it over. But, when you hear stuff like that, and no disrespect, but it's like when you hear people that try to be the star and on to be the star and don't have time for the fans.
That's what gets on my nerves.
I mean, and I'm going to tell you, I met Garth Brooks, and he come up to me, and and how many people you think he's ever met?
He's been a ton.
He probably could have walked away very easily, but you know what? He didn't. He sat there, shook my hand, and he took eye contact. But that's what it's about. It bugs me when people try to be famous, and then they realize when they're there they don't want to talk to nobody no more. What's that?
Then they're too big for everybody.
That's why we're trying to do it, because we respect you.
Right.
Yeah, I've met a lot of the artists and a lot of songwriters, and I don't get starstruck, but I think I would if I saw Garth. That's my idol, and George Jones. I don't think I could meet either one of them without being.
Well, we met Garth. Short story. We met Garth at a place called, I don't want to say it's Faison's. It was right next to the Vanderbilt, and a friend of mine knew the bartender, so we came in there, and it was late, probably 11:30, 12. So we came in there, and it was me and him at the bar, me and my friend, and then there was a table of ladies over there, maybe 8 to 9. I guess like business lunch, or not lunch, business after hours. It was about 11:30 at night. And then there was a table over here about like y'all, maybe 5 or 6 people, and that was it in the whole restaurant. It wasn't probably 15 people tops. Well, we heard the girls over there giggling, of course, sing on everything. We were checking out the ladies, and we didn't know what was going on. This was when he was like Michael Jackson. I mean, this was like his heyday.
Right.
Thunder Rolls, all of them. And this was when he was the man, which he still is. He's great. And but we was over there sitting there. And I remembered this because I thought this was why he's the superstar and why some of the people are not, because he's a class act. And what he did, just in his actions alone, he saw the ladies giggling and talking, because they knew that was him. Because we was watching this, because like I said, we knew the bartender, and me and my friend, and he said, man, that's Garth Brooks. How you do? So we was watching. He got up from that table, and it was at least 20 foot away. He got up from that table. He walked over to the ladies. The ladies started to stand up. He said, no. He said, y'all sit down. And he got on one knee and took his hat off. And he talked to everybody at that table, signed autographs, whatever. Then he was sitting with his people. Then he came up to the bar to us and, went ahead and made that connection. Then he went to the restroom. I mean, he didn't have to do that.
Right.
But when he knelt down, to me, that was respect for the fans.
Yep, absolutely.
And this was in his heyday. So, I mean, I know he didn't have to. He could just say, listen, y'all get them on out of here, and we'll just take this whole place over.
I went and saw him when he did these last concerts a few years ago in Nashville up here. Me and my brother, we'd never seen Garth Brooks. Let's just get some tickets and go. And we went to the early show on the last night. He'd done all these shows for over about a week. And we go to the early show, and he comes out there and he puts on whatever the it factor is that people have. He's got it. Because, I mean, when he comes up on stage, you're standing up and you don't realize you stood up the whole entire concert. And then he does 3 encores. He had another show that started at 9 o'clock. He didn't leave the stage till 8:45. I'm like, how do you sing for 4? I mean, he does it for the love of it, because when he comes out there for one of his encores, he just had an acoustic guitar. Let me see what signs I got here, and I'll sing most of these songs. And it was probably the best show I've ever seen. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, and think about all that running around and all that, and he's out there running
right,
and singing.
Yep.
So
I love to hear the stories of some of these songwriters will talk about when years ago when he was coming to town, that their publishers were like, we want you to write with this new guy. He's going to be the next big thing. And they'd see him like, that little chubby fella, we're not writing with him. And they wouldn't waste their time. And then they said, and like a year later, they're like, man, I wish I could get that back, because he's the biggest thing that's hit country music in a long time.
And it's like that now. I mean, you go downtown and you don't know who's walking. That's 5 years from now. It might be the Gretchen Wilson, or, That's why
might be the next Gretchen Wilson.
Well, that's why you don't never discount nobody.
Right.
You don't know.
You don't know.
Being from Indiana, not originally, I lived there for 21 years of my life, but Mellencamp country. John is around everywhere.
Awesome. Yeah, I like him. I always sing "Hurt So Good."
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's one of my favorites.
So, and he comes and goes. You see him all the time when he's not on tour. He lived an hour south of Indianapolis, but you seen John quite a bit. And the story I really like is I had a music shop up there, and a guy came in and he was talking. Oh, and he's in the local band, one of the big bands that played around there, cover band, and we're talking. He goes, me and Mellencamp were best friends in high school. I said, really? He goes, yeah. And he starts telling stories about John, which were cool stories. And he goes, my regret of my life is I fired John as my lead singer in the band because I thought he was terrible. And now I'm doing cover stuff, and look where John's at.
He's probably doing John's cover song.
Yeah, he's doing John's cover stuff. So, but you meet people from John's band. Larry Crane, a phenomenal guy. Toby and all them guys, nice. But Larry Crane, if he's listening, I want to thank Larry. He was just a super sweet guy. But when I think of John Mellencamp, I think of Larry Crane. Just a nice guy, but great guitar player. So, but it's just funny, the stories. Just be careful who you might be kicking out of your band.
That's right.
Might be the next Mellencamp.
That's how it happens, though, ain't it? You hear them all the time.
That's right.
All the time. Well, cool.
Well, you want to hear a song?
I'd like to hear a song. Let's have Anthony
I
do
talk
one
too
instead.
much, don't I?
Let's see, who's got a guitar? Why don't you play a song, Anthony?
Yeah, let's let him do it.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to play a
Don't forget
new
to step
song.
your pedal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
hit
going to
your
play a new song. So
Called
just make sure I get through it. Now, I thought about this. I was like, well, I'm going to do a new song. And sometimes when you do a new song, you might forget a word or two. But y'all wouldn't know it anyway, so I'm just going to make it up.
That's right.
There you go.
It's called a rewrite. Let's see. I like it, though. If I can think of the name of it, I'm going to do it. It's called Don't Stop Loving Me. And it goes like this. Said I was walking with my baby down the boulevard of our broken dreams. 8 long years, and after 10 million tears, she still believes in me. She squeezed my hand and said, I love you. You're everything I want, the man I need. And even if this world stopped spinning, you'd have a pull on me. She said, don't stop loving me when times are tough. Don't stop kissing me when things are rough. Dark clouds will pass us by after the storm. Don't stop loving me. Don't stop touching me with your 2 hands. Don't stop hugging me tight as you can. And if our love should ever pass away, don't stop loving me. Don't stop loving me. Don't stop. I touched her face and softly brushed back her hair. I said, I'll always love you, girl, I don't care. Whatever happens to us, I'll be right there, faithfully. In times of deep destruction, I feel no pain, 'cause it's your sweet loving that stops the rain. If there is one thing you can surely believe, you can count on me. And then I told her, don't stop loving me when times are tough. Don't stop kissing me when things get rough. Dark clouds will pass us by after the storm. Don't stop loving me. Don't stop touching me with your two hands. Don't stop hugging me tight as you can. And if our love is numbered, you're number one. Don't stop loving me. Don't stop loving me. Don't stop loving me. Don't stop loving me. I got through it.
Very good.
Good
very
job.
Good.
Thank you.
Real quick, Mark. Hollywood sent us a message that his daughter used to, before she moved away, she was on here and she always did our obituary report, or what I call it, because
The obituary
it was
report.
things that happened in music, and usually 90% of it was deaths. You know.
Yeah.
So
It was music history stuff.
she sent us a message today that in 1965.
I got it right here. Yep. Yeah, Hollywood was part of the show, but yeah, in 1965, and this is out to you, Holly. Nat King Cole died of complications following surgery for lung cancer at the age of 48. Hey, in 1981, Mike Bloomfield died of an accidental drug dose. And then Holly goes, sorry, that's about it. That's all she had.
And now
How
you know
about
the rest
like
of the
Spain?
story.
Good day. How about, maybe something upbeat, a little happy. And speaking of that, let's do something maybe a little upbeat and happy. Now, he's doing some drop D tuning up there.
Good enough. I love drop D, but it kind of messes with my mind when I.
Oh, yeah.
But Waylon Jennings used to always do it so good.
So that's
yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah. You can't go wrong with Waylon.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you'd like to do a little special request, your young daughter's having a birthday. Maybe the whole group could sing her happy birthday live on the air. Would
While
that
they
be cool?
break
You want to
dance.
sing happy birthday to your daughter?
Y'all help me out.
Yeah. Well, let all the singers get involved here.
Oh, singers. All right.
And then I'm the drummer. I'll tap, okay? You don't want me singing. We'll clear the building. There'll be a fire alarm.
Cause we're gonna do it a cappella. Since
Yeah.
my drop D.
Yeah. You can do it all a
All right,
cappella.
Angelina is her name.
Angelina.
So we'll get to the part. We'll get to the part. All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Angelina. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, baby.
Very
Thank you, guys.
She got a little shy on that one. That's
You know,
good.
the day after your birthday, you have to go get a job.
Yeah.
And buy me something nice.
That's when I turned 16. My dad said, "How would you like a car for your birthday?" I said, "I'd love one. He said, we go get a job and save up."
There you go.
My brother said, "How about a big army, a green Jeep?" And I said, "Oh, I'd love to have a green Jeep." He said, "Well, then join the army."
That's a good one.
They just wanted me to leave somehow. I don't that's the message I got.
Yeah.
I said we're going to throw one at you real quick.
Okay.
I want to hear song number 6, just to see if you can mess up.
Are we on 5 or 6?
And this is
We'll be on 6.
this on drop D tuning, James?
Yeah, drop
Yeah, we're gonna do a drop D here. Oh, I love this song. Me and Marty wrote this one too. I like writing with Marty, and we don't ever use guitar. We didn't use one of this neither. We wrote this from bar to bar. I know that's a song in itself, but we started at this bar and then we went to this bar, But that's kind of Nashville. We was only drinking Coca-Cola, so
Little rum
that's
in
why
the
we
bottom of the
named.
glass.
That's why we named this song Budweiser Kisses and Chevrolet Dreams, and it goes like this. I have to have a good intro here. I got a 1967 Z28, a six-pack of Bud for my first date. I'm sitting on ready and busting at the seams for Budweiser kisses and Chevrolet dreams. I got a wheel in my hand, we got time. I got something underneath this hood of mine. Wallet full of money and a tank of gasoline for Budweiser kisses and Chevrolet dreams. I got Budweiser kisses and Chevrolet dreams. When you're 18, Lord, they mean everything. I'll crank up my engine, make the horses scream. Budweiser kisses and Chevrolet dreams. Old man sits at the bar, slamming them down, dreaming about the days he was glory bound. She was the best dang woman he had ever seen. Budweiser kisses, Chevrolet dream. Now Earnhardt knew it, that's why he drove in Victory Lane. His story was told. Confetti raining down on that NASCAR scene. It was Budweiser kisses, Chevrolet dream. I got Budweiser kisses, Chevrolet dreams. When you're 18, Lord, they mean everything. Crank up my engine, make the horses scream. Budweiser kisses, Chevrolet dream. Budweiser kisses, Chevrolet dreams. When you're 18, Lord, they mean everything. So crank up my engine, make the horses scream. Budweiser kisses, Chevrolet dreams. Budweiser kisses and Chevrolet dreams. Budweiser kisses and Chevrolet dreams. Thank you.
Very, very nice.
You're right, I miscounted. That's 5.
That's right. I will throw you another one if you want one.
Yeah, we will in a second.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll give you time. I'll give you time to write it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if you'd like to do another one, that'd be great. Then we'll have you step down, and we'll get a little quick commercial. And then we got another special guest who's going to pop up for a few songs.
Okay.
Well, we'd like Mr. Anthony George, if he doesn't mind, stick around a little bit for a photo op. And we always like to have our artists to do a station ID, if you don't mind. Something real simple, but...
and then you got to give everybody at the table $20. I think that was
$20.
That
Did we
would
bring
feel
the bill
right.
phone?
We do have a credit card
Too
machine.
late.
We will take that. Yeah, you thought this was a free show. It is for you.
It's free till you leave.
Yeah, free to get out. You got to pay. Well, good. So, who's some of your, I don't know, songwriting idols? Who have you admired?
Well, this next one I'm going to play for you, I have utmost respect for, I guess. And I met Tommy Barnes. I know y'all know Tommy. And we wrote this song together. But Tommy's one of the most nicest persons, I guess, in Nashville to me. Tommy's had huge success. Indian Outlaw, My Love, Little Texas, several McGraw songs. But Tommy's always a person that will listen to you. He's not somebody he ain't that person that's going to say, go away. He loves the new songwriters. He loves to stay fresh with the current people. But he's always, and so, I mean, I look up to him. And plus, he's very witty, very crazy thinking, which crazy thinking equates to great songs if you can think outside the box, literally. So he's one of mine that I really respect in this town, and for a lot of reasons.
That's good.
So this song I'm going to do, And thanks again for letting me up here. I've enjoyed.
Had
a good time.
For this
I'll sit here. I'll talk all night. So
for this last song, why don't you push that button on that thing so we can hear your guitar?
Oh man, do I have to?
Where's the roadie?
Roadie. This song is very special, and this song I'm gonna throw this in there, but it is true. Of course, with Tommy having all the Indian Outlaw stuff, we wrote this several years ago. Okay, but Tim McGraw had this on hold, and I saw him do Red Ragtop out at the Broken Spoke. I don't know if y'all know that. That's when he first had that Red Ragtop. Okay, so this has been passed, but he didn't cut our song. Oh, Lord. It'd probably been a different story if he did so. But it ain't. But he did. Tommy took me outside, and he said, McGraw, he said, this is Anthony. He said, you remember Angel's Arms, the name of the song. And he said, man, you told me you was going to cut this song, and you did. Tommy was kind of fun because Tommy knew McGraw before McGraw was McGraw, and, of course, Indian Outlaw put him on the map. More so than a lot of other songs. And, of course, Tim McGraw said, yeah, man, he said, I love it. And he said, you never know one day, whatever. But he was very nice. McGraw was cool. And so I still have a special place for this song, and I know it'll get cut one day. And a lot of songs you write, it takes years. It don't take over. It might take 10 years, whatever.
Yep.
But it's called I May Never Get to Heaven, But I Slept in the Angel's Arms. And it goes like this. Girl, I can't believe the change that you made in my life. I'm tearing down walls, swallowing pride. Now that I know how true love should be, I'd like to thank God for what He's given me. I may never get to heaven, but I've slept in an angel's arms. I slept with the devil, but an angel's twice as warm. I was loving in the dark, searching for the light, when I looked up on your loved one cold, lonely night. I may never get to heaven, but I've slept in an angel's arms. Girl, I used to be a gambler. I paid the price. I found hell on earth was no paradise. Now that I know what heaven beholds, I'll give you my word, girl, I'll never let go. I may never get to heaven, but I've slept in an angel's arms. I've slept with the devil, but an angel's twice as warm. I was loving in the dark, searching for the light, when I looked up on your loved one cold, lonely night. I may never get to heaven, but I've slept in an angel's arms. I was loving in the dark, searching for the light, when I looked up on your loved one cold, lonely night. I may never get to heaven, but I've slept in an angel's arms. I may never get to heaven, but I've slept in an angel's arms. Thank you. Thanks, guys. I've really enjoyed it. It's been fun.
Very nice. Very glad to have.
Oh, good. You can cut it.
Well, we want to thank Mr. Anthony George for gracing us with his presence. He did a great job. I got to meet Anthony, 3-4 weeks ago back at Dan McGinnis in Nashville. It was a pleasure, and he was excited about bringing his kids down, so we're glad they got to have that, and Angelina have her birthday here, so that was nice. We're going to let Anthony step off the stage for a little bit. We're going to have Uncle Larry tell us a little bit about what's coming up on the calendar, and then we're going to get a special guest up that we'll have Jason introduce, the hillbilly heartthrob himself. And then we're going to have a little photo op with Mr. George, if he doesn't mind.
Thank you so much.
Anthony, thank you once again. Let's give him a big round of applause, everybody. Thank you. Well, Uncle Larry, what you got over there for us?
Well, we got some Valentine's things going on. We've got Jason Adams at the Smokehouse on February 14th, Valentine's Day. So if you girls all want to see the Hillbilly Hot Throb, you'll be up there with Andy Brown and Travis Bowen and a whole bunch of other fine people up at the Smokehouse. So get up there this coming Thursday. On Friday, we've got James and Caitlin, and they'll be playing at Miss Gracie's in Cowan. And on Saturday, Hillbilly Hot Throb's got a gig again up at the Smokehouse. So if you missed them on Valentine's Day, all you ladies can catch him on Saturday, February 16th. And then we're going to be up at Dan McGinnis's, not this particular week, but next week. We'll have probably the DJ Doctor with us, and James, the Lyric Man Bell, Caitlin Curtis, and
Taking
Jason,
Nashville by storm.
Yeah, Jason Adams.
Yeah.
It's an event hosted by Mala Sitton, and we'll all be up there for that one. And let's see, we've got Jason again. He's got a lot of work this month.
Oh,
he'll
that
be
Jason
he'll be at the Last Chance Saloon, doing his old time country favorites with a guest guitar player and steel guitar player Robert Rogers.
The infamous Robert Rogers from Mo Bandy.
And DJ Doctor, I think, is playing drums for him.
I will be drumming for him that night, yes. We got Andy Brown from the Anderson Brown Band will be playing bass. Should be a good show.
Yeah.
And the Heartthrob looking good, Sam.
He'll be performing in another room.
Yeah. On March 3rd, actually March 1st, James Bell, Jason Adams, Caitlin Curtis will be at the Smokehouse.
That'd be a good
all
show.
three of them playing together. And then at the Commodore on March 3rd, they'll be playing together up there with hopefully with Lana Presley, who is a great niece of Elvis Presley.
We are?
Yeah, on the Commodore March 3rd.
That'd be great.
And then on March 8th, we got James over to the Tater Box from 6 to 8 p.m. in, let's see, what's the name of that little?
Tater Box is out towards Beach Grove.
Yeah,
and
Beach
Hill
Grove
Road
area.
and Fredonia
Yeah.
Road.
Yeah, that way there. A nice little restaurant and cozy setting, and get out there and catch James out at the Tater Box. And that's
Sounds
all I'm going to
good.
do up for now.
That's a lot of stuff going on. Again, you can go to Facebook and see these guys. They're getting their schedules posted quite often. You can check out the WFMC Jams page. You can also check out the Red Clay Facebook, and you can check out I believe the the Family Music Center Facebook also have that posted on there. So multitudes of way of finding out where these guys are playing all over. Caitlin and it was Caitlin and James and Charlie Allen, was it not? Last Sunday.
Last Sunday.
Did a phenomenal show. If you can check out the video that's been taken, they all done a great job. So check it out. Is that on Facebook or is that on YouTube?
It's on,
we know
either or.
It's either or. How do they find that?
Go to Caitlin Curtis X Factor, and you can get it on YouTube. And click on Red Clay Productions, and you should be able to pick it up off of there or James Bell's site.
Good.
One other thing I want to mention: we've got a great band doing a gig over to the VFW in Estill Springs, and March 16th, and they'll be their St. Patty's Day celebration there.
Who's the great band?
I got to go see these
great
guys.
Great band is Counterfeit.
Well, thank you, Larry. Yes. We will be playing the. I didn't even think about doing that. Larry did that all on his own. Thank
I'm going
you.
to throw in one more, Anderson Brown Band at 41 South on the 23rd.
That's another good band. You want to get out there and check them guys out. Good show. Now, did we mention this? Not this Friday, right? But it's the following Friday. Trapper Haskins and Andy Brown at the Borough.
No, I didn't mention that because. But if you're around Murfreesboro and you can't make it to Cowan and see James and Caitlin, get up to Bluesboro in Murfreesboro and catch Trapper Haskins and Andy Brown.
Hey, I may not have to be able to make it to my own show. I kind of like to.
James might cancel his own show to go see
hear
that
Trapper.
one. So
and Andy.
it was nice to see Trapper. I haven't seen Trapper in a long time. Trapper came in a couple of weeks ago, so it was nice to see Trapper's back and back out in the music business. I know he does great work in the carpentry field, but he's a musician, so it's nice to see him back out playing again. So if you get a chance, a lot of great artists, a lot of great talent playing all over. And again, that's what the radio station's about. Get you aware of all this talent that's out there that no one ever hears about, no one talks about. Some people that just are, it's a shame that no one hears these people. So we're trying to get them out there, get some exposure to some of these people. Again, we're kind of the 50s DJ. You cut a CD or 45 back in them days. I'm on a 45 hanging on the wall, which I still think is kind of cool. I'm on vinyl. But you can take it down to your local DJ and give it to him and say, hey, play my record. That's kind of what we do here. So it's nice to have the local talent that comes out and go, I don't have the money to get on the big radio station. I don't have the backing to get on the radio stations. How do I get my stuff heard? Give me your music and we'll put it on the radio station. And I say that, and we got pounded here in the last 8-9 days. I think we got about 12 or 14 brand new artists and CDs come in. So we're trying to get them on fast. So if you're listening to the radio station, you don't hear yourself, wait another day or so. You'll be on there. We're working hard to get you on the station. Larry, you got something else?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to Trapper. He gracious enough to let me play with him and the Bit of Swill at our Antique Archaeology on the last a couple Saturdays ago on February 2nd. We played up there and had a great time. Great place.
And that video is also on YouTube. I actually saw a video on that the other night.
Yeah.
So that's great. Now, Anthony, you got a website that people can go to?
Yes, it's
myspace.com/myspace.com/
Tony George Songs.
Tony George Song. Matter of fact,
Songs with an S on the end.
with an S on the end. So it is Songs. Matter of fact, I got that up there. It's got a nice picture of Brooks and Dunn on there with Hillbilly Deluxe. So, and it's got Tony's background, or I should say Anthony's background, on there in his bio. So give that a check out. Are you playing anywhere close by or anything going on? Doing
Right now, just Rider Night.
the song
Trying to
nights?
fix that 3D.
There you go. Oh, cool.
And Anthony can also be seen up at Dan McGinnis's on a Wednesday night playing with the Marla Sitton's Music Circle Country Club over there. And
That's a
it is
great
a good venue.
yes.
I love the
And you-
Caesar salad with salmon on it
Yeah.
that they have there. I love it.
No, well, I can't remember what they're called. I'm sorry, but it's those things which got cheddar cheese and I think it's cubes of Parmesan cheese with the meat in the middle, and then it's beer battered and deep fried.
That was good.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude.
Yeah.
We need to have that here. So we'll talk to my beautiful wife over there about getting a restaurant put inside here. So when we do these nights,
Brian
we'll have
could run.
food.
Brian could run it. He's not doing anything
Brian
else.
ain't doing nothing. Get the IT guru to start cooking for us.
No, hey, with his baby arms, he can't get near
He can't
fried
reach,
grease.
he couldn't
yeah.
reach it. All right. Well, let's get to our next guest. Let's bring the Hillbilly Heartthrob back up here.
First of all, I've got to say, Jason will go to the extremes just to prove that there's somebody that will say something nice about him. I mean, he's pulled this boy all the way down from Michigan, right?
Northern Indiana.
Close enough.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a long drive just to say something nice about Jason to prove he's got people that
Well,
like.
Still
he's
trying
done.
to think
He's
of
done
something
moved
to
down
say.
here.
Oh well.
He's another implanted redneck. Hillbilly.
Oh, Lord. Well,
Jason,
he's
tell
got
us-
slightly a different haircut than our last guest.
I went with the streamline.
I couldn't tell them apart. Well, let's let Jason introduce our next guest. We'll let him get playing a few songs.
Well, actually, this gentleman here is basically my brother. Him and I have been friends since I was 13 years old, and he is the reason that I'm really playing guitar. Him and his family started me playing.
So this is the guy we should beat up.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thanks a
Exactly.
lot.
All my
Thanks.
fault.
It's your fault.
We did a lot of stupid things together growing up and got into all kinds of trouble.
I
and,
can imagine. He's still doing
We
stupid
kept
things.
each other out of trouble too. So,
We
Yeah,
tried
there
to.
you go.
Yes, we tried.
That's what
to.
friends are for.
and I knew when to run. He didn't. So,
you are probably a faster runner too.
We
Yeah,
can
long
see
legs.
that.
This is my best friend in the whole world. This is Shanon Cornelius. He's a wonderful songwriter, and I'd actually say he is one of my musical heroes as well.
well,
Well,
thank you.
good. Well, nice to meet you, Shannon. This is your second
Glad
time
to
here
be
on the
here.
stage. You came up here with Can't remember if that's part of a band or.
Yeah, it was a group that I was playing with called the Mix-Ups, or part of the group that I was playing with called the Mix-Ups up in Elkhart.
Okay.
And they were also part of Fishers of Men as
There's
well.
a pick right there if you
Okay.
need it, Shannon. Oh, you got one in your hand.
And they're probably listening tonight too. So hi, Bob and Christine.
Yeah, let's give them a shout out. Well, great. Well, why don't you do something for us
Strum
here
that
real
first
quick?
and see if it's on.
Like
See
a
Anthony,
well-oiled
see
machine.
Anthony how he turned it on.
But Andy's going, he doesn't have a pedal.
I don't have a pedal. I had a roadie. He plugged it in for me.
We're going to shut the lights off and turn the black light on.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Well, that's what happens when you sneeze a lot on them.
Well,
Makes him slick.
tell us about the very first song you're going to do for us here, Shannon, if you don't mind.
Well, one of them is, or the first song I'm going to do is one that I wrote actually for Jason. He had asked me, how many years ago was it? About 15 years ago, to write a song for him that showed him how he felt about his first wife, and it's always been one of the favorites of mine. And it's, even though it didn't work out really well for him, it still is a good song. So
At least he got the song out of it.
yeah, got a good song out of it.
It's got to be a country song then, right?
Yep.
All right.
We'll give it a shot. Something in your eyes is telling me to make my move. Something in your smile shows me just what to do. You've been looking for love to make your dreams come true, and to make you feel like a woman should. But are you ready for the love of your life? And are you ready for what I can give you tonight? You show it with your eyes, you say it with your heart, but are you ready for this life? Somewhere in your heart, you know it's what you want, but your past comes back to haunt you, and you're afraid to make a start. You spend all your life just searching for a feeling just like this, and without a start, you'll never know the love you might have missed. So are you ready for the love of your life? And are you ready for what I can give you tonight? You show it with your eyes, you say it with your heart, but are you ready for this life? Yes, are you ready for this life? Thank you.
The worst thing about that, he wrote that for my wedding and didn't get to play it.
Oh, wow.
Not for the wedding, but I did play it at the reception.
Well, that's good. That's good. So how long you guys been friends? You said since 13? Is
Since
that what it
he was 13 and I was 14 when we met.
Okay.
Or no, I was 15 when we met. So it's been a long time. I'm almost 40 now. So.
Wow. Wow.
Shannon had a 1970 Dodge Charger painted up as a general.
Yeah, I drove around. They called us Bo and Luke.
We got in all kinds of trouble. I remember sliding through an intersection one time sideways
So
You weren't
because
supposed to
the,
talk about
the
that.
roads were wet.
Yeah.
And we were doing something. He looked up and the light changed to red, and we slid through the intersection. And he stopped and backed up. And I thought, why? You're already through it.
it
That's how
happens.
it was.
It happens. Yeah, I ran through a stop sign a long, long time ago, and the person that was with me goes, "Just stop twice at the next one." You'll be fine.
Hey, you know, there was a guy that in these cities where they put the cameras at the red lights. You know, this guy goes through the, red light and he sees it flash. He's like, "Man, I don't know what they got me for because I wasn't speeding. I know I wasn't speeding." So just to see what was going on, he drove around the block and came through it again. When he went through that red light, it got him again. He's like, "Man, I know I wasn't speeding. I'm gonna try it one more time." Went through it again. It went off again. He's like, "I'm looking right at the speedometer. I know I'm going to speed limit. I don't get this." And like 3 weeks later, he got 3 tickets for not being buckled up.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Well, Shannon, what else do you got?
Well, also, just like I write music, my wife also writes lyrics as well, and I put them to music for her. And she wrote this song a few years back. Name's Jill, and her dad will remember this one because she wrote it for him.
For her?
Yeah.
For him. Her for him.
Speaking. For him. All right. He smiled when he finally got to see her. When their eyes met, it was perfectly clear. They had a love that's rarely seen. She was like the girl in his dreams. When he held her in his arms, he felt 10 feet tall. And he bragged about her to everyone he saw. And he did everything for her that he could. He hugged her every day and treated her good. She thought he was a hero, the strongest in the world. And he protected her daily, 'cause she was his only girl. She never thought he was ever weak or wrong. He always told her in his heart was where she belonged. She wouldn't argue, she just silently agreed. And the answers to her questions were the ones that she believed. He never told her he didn't want her around. And it tore him up every time she frowned. And he did everything for her that he could. He hugged her every day and treated her good. She thought he was a hero, the strongest in the world. And he protected her daily, 'cause she was his only girl. It's the day of her wedding, she just said, "I do." And he sat behind her as she kissed the groom. She's looking beautiful in her dress of white lace. And he smiles as a single tear falls from his face. The reception is great, the best part he ever had. Then she grabs him for a dance and softly whispers, "I love you, Dad."
Very good song, Jill.
And more than likely, as far as I know of, they're listening. Joe and Terry, and also her brother, and most of her family is. Catalina, sorry, Catalina, Jocelyn, Josh, Justice, Cody, James, and Hope.
Now, is that
And Chase,
Elkhart?
there's a bunch of them, yeah.
Elkhart or is that
in,
Michigan?
In Elkhart.
Now, did they got any snow up there, do you know?
Yeah, they got a bunch of it.
They do,
Last
okay.
I had heard. It's been pretty chilly.
You keep it.
Ah, I see. And I want to say hey to my nephew and my niece, who's my brother's kids, who are out in Boston with that lovely 3 foot of snow they got the other day. As my nephew put on Facebook, and he showed where he had to shovel to get to the snow blower, and the snow blower apparently died after he got it out of the garage and started. So he had to hand shovel his driveway, and then he took a tape measure, and it was 36 inches of snow. So I look at that and I go, that's why I'm no longer in Wisconsin and I live down here. So yeah, I'm
not missing it either. I just recently moved here. In September I moved here.
Yeah.
So I beat the snow.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's beautiful for about 2 days, and then it's got to go away.
Yeah. Yep.
And I like that about Tennessee. I've had 28 years of
Ours only last 2 days.
3 foot snows. You know, every day there was 3 foot of snow on the ground from October to somewhere around middle of April. There was always snow on the ground. So
They
I
had
don't
a
miss
snow
that.
day. They had a snow day here in Manchester a few weeks ago just because it looked bad. They were out of school all day, and it didn't even rain that day. The sun it was kind of cloudy. And we're like, oh, it's overcast. Let's
We
bring the
went to
kids
school.
home right there.
Well, if you stand around the school, it's still going to look ugly.
Yeah,
For all of us northern and east coast people, I remember we went to school standing with snow knee deep, waiting for the bus to come. Could not see the bus because the snow was coming down. All you saw was the headlights coming through the snow, and we're going to school. Thank you. Yeah. How bad has it got to get a snow day around here? Yeah. So
couldn't have been that bad, Mark. It was just a one-room schoolhouse.
Yeah. We had to have everything lit by the candles and stuff like that. Me and Abe Lincoln were talking about that the other day, but long story. We'll go on from there.
Did he cut the wood for your stove?
He cut the wood for my stove. Yeah, I wrote some proclamation or something like that. He wrote years later and made him famous. So.
I do remember a snow day that Shannon and I should remember very well. He used to come to the house every morning for breakfast. Him and I had breakfast together. And he showed up. My mother was already at work. She was driving a school bus.
That was more of an ice day.
My mother called and said, they're going to cancel school. Stayed at home. Sure, Mom, we will. And as soon as we hung up the phone, we left.
Yeah.
The main road was great. We hit one of those side roads. Before we knew it, we was on our top.
Then we found out why they canceled school.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad part about it is Dad's on the road crew, and he passed us up
Oh, not good. Yeah,
so
not
so
good.
in short, to sum up,
while the car was upside down.
so to sum
It
up,
was a
you
white
guys,
car. You couldn't see it in the snow.
you guys weren't the valedictorians of your class.
No.
It was fun. My dad showed up. My brothers showed up. We just rolled the car over, and they drove it home.
Well, there you go. Well, why don't we get one more song out of Shannon here real quick, and then we'll call it a night if that's all right with everybody, and we'll get on to some other business. And
How
we'll go
about
from there.
a real quick request?
What's that?
He doesn't know any of my songs, Jason.
Why don't we do our song? Speaking of Earl Thomas Conley and Keith Whitley,
You want to go up and sing with them on the mic? You want to sing right there?
I'll just sing right here.
All right.
Sure. Which one was that?
Shannon and I used to do a lot of shows together growing up, and actually,
yeah.
the first show I ever played was with Shannon. We used to do a lot of churches, a lot of little individual things, and this was one of the songs that seemed to always fit us. This is called Brotherly Love. We share the same last name and the same color eyes. We fight like tigers over one old red bike. I'm batting first and you can't use my glove. Wouldn't take long till push came to shove. We looked after each other, brotherly love.
You hated girls till I had my first date. I brought her home from the movies. You stayed up late. on the couch watching TV. I was smiling at her while you were laughing at me. But I wouldn't trade it for nothing, brotherly love. There's a bond that brothers know,
and it gets stronger as they grow.
a love that time and miles can't come between. We disagree, but in the end
There will never be two closer friends.
and brotherly love is something we all need.
They share the same last name and the same color eyes. They fight like tigers over one old red bike.
And looking at them reminds me of us. They're gonna fight and they're gonna fuss.
They got something special,
It's brotherly love. Yeah, they got something special. It's brotherly love.
Very nice.
Thank you.
That's a great song.
I wish I'd have wrote that.
So who did write that?
I know the artist was Keith Whitley and Earl Thomas Connolly. I don't know who the songwriter was.
Oh, that's a great song.
Thank you.
Good job. Well, let's go ahead and close the show. We got any last comments from anybody, from anybody to anybody?
Attaboy, girl.
All right. Sounds good. How about James? Do you got anything you want to add, James?
Nope, I'm good.
You can't roller skate in a buffalo herd.
I've heard that, and I want to thank him for that song. Brian, anything going on the calendar? We doing anything coming up? Any bands here the rest of this month? Anything?
I think we had some on the 23rd.
Yeah, some small band playing out there at the Last Chance Saloon. I think we're gonna do that live, right?
Yes.
Well, some of it's gonna be live. Some will be whatever he's gonna be doing, but.
Yeah, exactly.
No, the Hillbilly's going to be performing out there at the Last Chance Saloon on the 23rd.
He takes
Show starts at
requests and he
9.
loves Britney Spears songs.
We do. Yeah, we are the
Hit
Britney
me,
Spears
baby,
tribute
one more
band.
time.
The Britney Spears tribute band. Yeah, it just rocks. Please, if you come out there requesting Britney songs, I'm going to smack you. That's all there's going to be.
Can I sell tickets?
You can sell
I
tickets.
know a lot of people would want to see that.
Yes.
If I get a cover cut of that, yeah, sell tickets. But I don't think there's going to be a Britney song being played that night unless Jason does a cappella.
He don't know acapella. He had to learn another one.
He has to learn another song. A cappella's out of his league. Well, good. Well, Uncle Larry's made all he. I don't want to see it.
I don't want to see it
I
either.
don't want to see it.
I did do that to my nephew one night. We was out karaoke, and I got him to sing "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time," but he got even with me. I had to sing "Genie in the Bottle."
Ooh. Oh man.
You got to rub me the right way.
Yeah, let's go ahead and just end the
This is a
show before we
family
have to
show.
hose down the stage or something here.
Sorry, Mom. I forgot to tell you to turn the volume down that last
Yeah,
part there.
Mrs. Bell, once again, we apologize at the end of the show. So I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Mr. Anthony George, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you much.
Shannon, thank you for
appreciate-
hopping in kind of last minute with us.
I appreciate you having
We
me.
appreciate that. And once again, for everybody here on the staff of WFMC Jams, I want to thank all of our listeners and viewers that have been popping on. Thank you to all the people that's been responding to the pictures of Anthony here. We want to thank you all. It's on our Facebook, and so, Anthony, when you get on your Facebook, you can click over and see all the pictures that was made, the comments. We want to thank anything. Oh, I'm getting the eye from my wife. Oh, she's leaving. All right. I thought I was in trouble there for a second. So I thought I missed something.
I
But
didn't know you ever got out of trouble.
yeah, I'm always in trouble. Remember, I am Irish, so that always speaks for something. But, yes, we'll let everyone head out tonight. Will you be safe? And give us a comment on our Facebook page. Let us know how the show went, what you thought of the video. We'll be going all through that tonight. Every week we try to make it a little bit better, and we did have a camera take a dive on us tonight, so we'll fix that for next week's show. So we'll call it a night at that point. Let's say good night. And for the DJ Doctor, this was the Midnight Madness Show. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.